Good evening, children. Children. Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, children. So let's do some part of quadrilaterals today. I need to give you an assignment on exercise 13.7 and 13.8, volumes and surface areas, before we proceed to the other exercises. So I've just put that on hold. I need to share some assignment with you. Once you complete that and we discuss the answers, we'll resume volumes and surface areas. So it'll be like that. We'll be doing both the chapters parallelly. So today will be quadrilaterals. Am I audible, children?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, so we understood that a parallelogram is a quadrilateral in which both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral in which both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. That's the definition of a parallelogram. That's the definition of a parallelogram. A quadrilateral in which both pairs of opposite sides are parallel is a parallelogram. A parallelogram has many other properties. But when you're asked to define the term parallelogram, it's a quadrilateral in which both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. Now, what's a rhombus? A rhombus is a parallelogram in which all the sides are equal, because in a parallelogram only opposite sides are equal. In a parallelogram only opposite sides are equal. A parallelogram in which all sides are equal. A parallelogram in which all sides are equal is a rhombus. If the quadrilateral is a parallelogram, and actually in a parallelogram only opposite sides are equal. But if in a parallelogram all the sides are equal, then that parallelogram is a rhombus. A rhombus is a parallelogram. Every rhombus is a parallelogram. Every rhombus is a parallelogram, because when we say in a rhombus all sides are equal, that also means opposite sides are equal. That also means opposite sides are equal. In a rhombus, all sides are equal. So like say 10 everywhere. It's 10 everywhere. That also means opposite sides are equal. See here, are the opposite sides equal? See here, opposite sides are equal. Opposite sides are equal. It's a parallelogram. All sides, not only opposite sides, all sides are equal. So it's a rhombus. So it's a rhombus. A rhombus is a parallelogram in which all sides are equal. That's the definition of a rhombus. What about a rectangle? A rectangle is a parallelogram in which one angle is a right angle. A rectangle is a parallelogram in which one angle is a right angle. So if you prove that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, if you prove that a quadrilateral is a parallelogram with one angle 90 degrees, then it's a rectangle. To prove that a quadrilateral is a rhombus, it should be a parallelogram first. To prove that a quadrilateral is a rhombus, you must first prove it's a parallelogram. And in the parallelogram, when all the sides are equal, it is a rhombus. Similarly, to prove that a quadrilateral is a rectangle, you need to first prove that it's a parallelogram. It should first be a parallelogram. And in the parallelogram, if one angle is a right angle, because in a rectangle, we know opposite sides are equal. So this you don't have to prove. So if you have to prove that a quadrilateral is a rectangle, you need to first show it's a parallelogram. And in the parallelogram, any one corner of the four angles, any one angle, if you can prove is 90 degrees. If you can prove any one angle is 90 degrees, then that a quadrilateral is a rectangle. And to prove that a quadrilateral is a square, to prove that a quadrilateral is a square, or the definition of a square is a parallelogram in which all sides are equal and one angle is a right angle, is a square. A square is a parallelogram in which all sides are equal and one angle is a right angle, is the definition of a square. So to prove, if you're given a quadrilateral and asked to prove it's a square, you need to first prove that it's a parallelogram. You need to first prove it's a parallelogram, and then you'll have to prove that all the sides are equal. In the parallelogram, you need to prove that all sides are equal. And also in the parallelogram, you must prove that one angle is a right angle. So if you can prove all these three, then that quadrilateral is a square. A square is a parallelogram in which all sides are equal and one angle is a right angle. Example 1. We finished example 1, is it? Did we finish example 1, children? Okay. So here we'll have to show that each angle of a rectangle is a right angle. Show that each angle of a rectangle is a right angle. So you're given a rectangle. See, read the statement. Show that each angle of a rectangle. So that means the given quadrilateral is a rectangle. You need to prove that each angle of a rectangle is a right angle. Now, you will wonder that we already know in a rectangle, every angle is in a rectangle. We know that every angle is a right angle, is equal to 90 degrees. That we know. You'll have to prove that. You will have to prove that. Show that each angle of a rectangle is a right angle. Okay. Kindly tell me if I'm not audible. Am I audible, children?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Fine. All right. So show that each angle of a rectangle. So we are given it's a rectangle. So I can draw the quadrilateral in the shape of a rectangle. It's a rectangle. So the given quadrilateral is a rectangle. We need to show that each angle of a rectangle is a right angle. That is, we'll have to show that every corner is equal to 90 degrees. All the corners, the measure of, the angle at every corner is equal to 90 degrees. That's what we'll have to prove. All right. Now, what is it? It's given it's a rectangle. It is given that it's a sorry. So we are given that the quadrilateral is a rectangle. What is the definition of a rectangle? A rectangle is a parallelogram in which one angle is a right angle. So since we are given a rectangle, it is a parallelogram. It is a parallelogram. That is, it's a parallelogram. Okay, so it's a parallelogram in which one angle is a right angle, in which one angle is a right angle. So this is given to us. Why this is given to us? Because we're given a rectangle. If we are given a rectangle, that means we are given, see, you should know the definitions, children. I'm using the definition. So if you're given a rectangle, that means you're given a parallelogram in which one angle is a right angle. So that's what I've marked there. It's a rectangle. So you can see the figure above. I've marked the opposite sides parallel and one angle 90 degrees. Now this is given to us because we're given a rectangle. This is given to us. So we need to prove that every other angle is 90 degrees. And that is simple. Now parallel lines, these two lines are parallel. And this is the, see, parallel lines, transversal, co-interior angles are supplementary. If this is 90, this is also 90. Co-interior angles are supplementary. And we know that, so this is 90, this is 90. Because the lines are parallel. This is already 90 degrees by the definition. Now this is 90 because co-interior angles are supplementary. Parallel lines, these two lines are parallel. This is the transversal. So co-interior angles are supplementary. So if this is 90, 90 plus 90 only can be 180. And since it's a parallelogram, it's given it's a rectangle, which means it's a parallelogram. And by the property of a parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So opposite angles are equal. So this angle is 90 degrees. And this is because this is 90, its opposite angle is also 90. This is 90, so the opposite angle here, this is also 90. So like this, we show that every angle of a rectangle is a right angle. Please write down the proof. Open your notebook, get your notebook. Example 1. You can just give the reference number example 1 and start writing from given. You can use your textbook to write on this for the statement, or if you want to write the question, this one is small, but sometimes you know the information given is too much and we'll have to spend time on that. So leave some space for the question and start writing only the answer part. It is good if you have the question and the answer, but we cannot spend time in writing the question. Leave some space for the question because you can find it in your textbook. Start writing from the answer. Yes, and it should be fast. I'll wait for some time. What I explained is what you can see on the slide now. So as you write, just recall what you understood. So angle A is 90. Angle A is 90. So here angle A is 90. So angle C is 90. You understand, because the opposite angles are equal. That's what you see here. A is equal to C is equal to 90, because A is 90 by the definition. Sorry. Opposite angles are equal. It's a parallelogram. So C is 90. Then I found angle B. A plus B is 180. Again, parallel lines. Parallel. These two lines are parallel. Parallel lines, transversal. Pointed angle is supplementary. So A plus B is 180. A is 90. 90 plus B is 180. B is 90. So after finding B, B is equal to D. Opposite angles are equal. Like this, we prove that all angles are 90 degrees.
Done, ma'am.
Yeah. Show that the diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular to each other. So we need to show that the diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular to each other. So we're given it's a rhombus. The quadrilateral is a rhombus. You don't have to prove it's a rhombus, but you'll have to prove this property of the rhombus. The given quadrilateral is a rhombus. You don't have to prove it's a rhombus. See, show that the diagonals of a rhombus. So it's a rhombus. You'll have to show that the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. You need to prove this property of the rhombus, that its diagonals are perpendicular. Okay, so rhombus. Is my annotation clear, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, rhombus. We need to show that the diagonals are perpendicular, meaning we need to prove that this angle is 90 degrees. So we need to prove that this angle is 90. See, need not be this angle. You can prove this one is 90, this one or this one. Any one of these four angles. At this point, you know, there are four angles formed. Any one of these four angles you'll have to prove is 90 degrees. Any one of these four angles you'll have to prove is 90 degrees. Now, take up any two adjacent triangles. Take up any two adjacent triangles. Adjacent triangles, so say like this one and this one. Okay, any two adjacent triangles you can choose. Prove that they are congruent to each other. Step one, take up any two adjacent triangles. Triangles next to each other. Prove that they are congruent. Okay, so now we prove that these two triangles are congruent. And when they're congruent, you will see that this angle is equal to this angle CPCTC. You will see that this angle is equal to this angle CPCTC. But these two angles form a linear pair. They form a linear pair. They are equal and they form a linear pair. Linear pair means 180 degrees. and they're equal and they form a linear pair. That means each angle should be 90 degrees. Two angles are equal and they form a linear pair. Two angles are equal and they form a linear pair. They're equal and they form a linear pair. That is, they add up to 180. That means they have to be 90 each. That means they have to be 90 each, and like that you prove this angle is 90 degrees, which means the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. The diagonals here, you prove one angle is 90. If you prove that this is 90, that means the diagonals, this line segment and this line segment are perpendicular to each other. Pranav, are you there?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Pranav, yeah, tell us how do you prove that these two triangles are congruent?
What, ma'am? These two triangles are.
Yeah, I want you to
Huh?
1 minute, 1 minute. What's the name of the rhombus? What have I named the rhombus?
Ma'am, parallel, ma'am.
No, I've given some name to the rhombus. What is it? What have I marked along the vertices?
Ma'am, perpendicular to diagonals, ma'am.
No, darling, you're not getting my question. Like triangle ABC. What is the name of?
Ma'am, rhombus ABCD, ma'am.
Okay, ABCB or ABCD. Okay. Now,
ABCD.
okay, ABCD. Let's say the diagonals, they meet at O. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to prove that this triangle is congruent to this triangle. List the equalities.
Ma'am, first, ma'am, OC and OD are common, ma'am.
OC and
And
OA.
OD have common. Yes, ma'am, have a common.
OC and OD, huh?
Yes, ma'am, have a common sign.
No, Pranav, you need to take.
Ma'am, OD is common for both, ma'am.
Oh, OD is common for both. Okay, OD is the common side to the two triangles, correct? Then,
Ma'am, and then both are 90.
no, that we have to prove.
Yes, ma'am, that's right. Angle, how to prove that angle, ma'am?
Okay, no problem. Okay, you said one valid thing. OD is equal to OD, common side. Yes. Others, please participate.
Ma'am, AD is equal to CD, ma'am. All the sides of a rhombus are equal.
Equal, yeah, because we know what is a rhombus. Now you can use all, okay, now the other doubt is what properties to use. Because it's given it's a rhombus, you can use all the properties of the rhombus except what you have to prove. And yeah, I should have said this earlier. Children, now the confusion can be what properties of rhombus can we use, what we should not use. It's given it's a rhombus, you can use all the properties of a rhombus except the property that is to be proved here. Here the property that needs to be proved is, that has to be proved or that is expected to be proved is the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. So that property you should not use because they wanted to prove that. The remaining properties you can use of a rhombus. So as Hitesh rightly said, in a rhombus, all the sides are equal. So AD of the triangle AOD, AD is equal to CD. Let me not make it too complicated. AD is equal to CD as he rightly said. Very good. And Pranav said DO is the common side. Then one more, children. One more equality.
Ma'am, angle A is equals to angle C, ma'am.
Angle A is equal to angle C. Nivedita, was that Nivedita?
Yes, ma'am.
Angle A is equal to angle C. Use three letters and name which is angle A. Angle A completely, is it?
BAD
Yes,
and BCD, ma'am.
BAD and BCD are not, they are beyond the triangles, right?
yes,
BAD,
ma'am. Ma'am,
Sorry, ma'am.
DAC, ma'am.
and
Angle DAC.
yeah, one by one. Nivedita, DA.
Yes. DAO, ma'am.
Okay, okay. You're using isosceles triangle property.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Nivedita says, because she can see a triangle like this, like she's looking at the figure like this, D, A, and C. And we know that these two sides are equal. So using isosceles triangle property, she's trying to say that angle A is equal to angle C. That is angle DAO. Nivedita says angle DAO, this one is equal to this one. She's right. She's right by isosceles triangle property. When two sides are equal, the angles opposite to them are equal. Fine. What? So now with this, what congruence rule will you get, Nivedita?
SAS, ma'am.
No, it's not SAS. No, you know it's not the included angle. This is the included angle.
ASA, ma'am.
No, please check. See, this is the, for the two sides, this, for these two sides, this is the included angle. And for these two sides, this is the included angle. So yours is SSA, two sides and some other angle. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Children, see here, DO is equal to DO common side. Okay, DO is the common side. Then DA is equal to DC. DA is equal to DC. Now, these are the included angles. So though those two angles are equal, that will not help us to get a valid congruence rule. So you'll have to think of some other information.
Ma'am, AO is equal to CO, ma'am.
Why?
Diagonals bisect each other.
Correct. Diagonals bisect each other. In a rhombus, we know that in a rhombus, the diagonals bisect each other. Diagonals that is, are the diagonals equal in a rhombus?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. They're equal, ma'am.
Are the diagonals equal in a rhombus?
No, ma'am.
Diagonals are not equal. In a rhombus, when the diagonals are equal, it's a square. Diagonals are not equal. They bisect each other. That is, if AC is 20 centimeters, AO is 10 centimeters, CO is 10 centimeters. The diagonals are cut into two equal halves. Diagonals are not equal. They are cut into two equal halves. So as Hitesh said, AO is equal to CO. AO is equal to CO. AO is equal to CO. So by SSS congruence criterion, the two triangles are congruent. CP/CTC, you would have this angle equal to this angle. Angle 1 and angle 2. Angle 1 is equal to angle 2, but angle 1 plus 2 is 180. So when you work that, you will get angle 1 is 90 degrees. And so the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Please write down. Maybe we have used two other triangles here. Don't mind that, okay? See here we've used triangle. I've named it like this ABCD, and we've used AOD and COD. I told you you can use any two adjacent triangles. You need to write from given. If the statements are small, you can just copy the statement also quickly. Given to prove the diagram.
Ma'am, after this, can you show the answer for the example once, ma'am? I forgot to take the screenshot, ma'am.
Why didn't you not write, Nivedita? You're supposed to write now during the session.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. I'll copy it down, ma'am.
Yeah, please.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
I can't understand how the diagonal AO is equal to OC is equal.
Property of a rhombus, Shreyas, in a rhombus, diagonals are unequal, but they bisect each other. In a rhombus, diagonals are unequal. AC is not equal to BD. AC is not equal. If it's only a rhombus, AC is not equal to BD. Diagonal is not equal, but they bisect each other. One diagonal cuts the other diagonal into two equal halves. So when you take up the diagonal AC, O is the midpoint. AO is equal to OC. When you take up the diagonal BD, DO is equal to BO. But the diagonals are not equal. So like if this is 10, it will be 5, 5. If this is 8, it will be 4, 4. Okay.
Okay.
So ஒரே ஒரு நிமிஷம் ரவி வந்துட்டேன் வந்து காஃபி போடுறேன் இரு. சரி ஓகே.
Nivedita, I think your microphone is unmuted.
Yes ma'am, sorry ma'am.
Yeah. Is it over, children?
1 minute ma'am.
Okay. You need to take up any two adjacent triangles, show that they are congruent, get the result by CP/CTC, then use linear pair. Done, children? Example 3. ABC is an isosceles triangle. ABC is an isosceles triangle. So see here. ABC is an isosceles triangle. Okay. In which AB is equal to AC. Okay. AD bisects exterior angle PAC. AD. Now I don't know how to take AD, which direction. Okay. AD bisects, the figure is given, children. I'm just trying to explain the figure. The figure is provided in the question. If the figure is not given, the information will be more clear because you don't know which direction AD is. Right, so here you can see it here. You can see it here, AD. AD bisects exterior angle PAC. PAC here. This is AC. PAC, exterior angle PAC. That means they produce the side BA is produced. The side BA is produced to a point P. The side BA is produced to a point P. Okay, and the exterior angle PAC is formed. You can see the exterior angle PAC formed. AD bisects. So this is AD. AD bisects. So if this angle is say 120 degrees, it becomes 60 and 60 because of AD. Because of AD going through it, it becomes 60, 60. AD bisects exterior angle PAC. So somewhere here is D. And CD is parallel to AB. So we'll have to join C and D. CD is parallel to AB. CD is parallel to AB. That's what is the figure here. CD is parallel to AB. CD, this one is parallel to AB. It's given. These are equal. This one is equal to this one because AD bisects angle PAC. So what is that we have? We have a lot of information. Triangle ABC is isosceles. That is AB is equal to AC. That's one thing. Then the side BA is produced to a point P. So the exterior angle PAC is formed. PAC, exterior angle PAC is formed. AD is the bisector of PAC. AD is the bisector of PAC. CD is joined such that that is the point D is such that when you join CD, it will be parallel to AB. CD is parallel to AB. With this known to us, we need to prove that angle DAC, where is DAC? DAC, this angle DAC is equal to angle BCA, is equal to BCA. Where's BCA? BCA, this one. So we need to prove that this angle is equal to this angle. That's what we'll have to prove. We'll have to prove that this angle, see this angle is equal to this angle. Children, is the given information clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. All right. I'll tell you again. ABC is an isosceles triangle. ABC is an isosceles triangle. ABC is an isosceles triangle with AB equal to AC. Okay. The side BA is produced to a point P. The side BA is produced to a point P. So the exterior angle PAC is formed. So the exterior angle PAC is formed. AD is the bisector of the exterior angle PAC. AD is the bisector of the exterior angle PAC. That means the angle, if it is 120 or 130 degrees, it will become 65, 65. The angle is bisected by AD. Then D is such a point that when you join CD, it will be parallel to AB. CD parallel to AB. With all this given, we need to prove that this angle see DAC is this angle. We need to prove that this angle is equal to this angle, So let's just mark off these angles, children. Let's mark this. Let's take up this angle. These two angles are equal, right? This angle is equal to this angle because these two sides are equal. This side is equal to this side. So that means this angle is equal to this angle. Isosceles triangle property. When two sides are equal, these two sides are equal is given to us. So these two angles are equal. So let's number this 1 and 2, and we know that angle 1 is equal to angle 2. Let's mark this 3 and 4, and we know that 3 is equal to 4. We know that 1 is equal to 2, and we also know that 3 is equal to 4 because AD bisects angle PAC. And we need to prove what? What do we have to prove, children? You tell me using numbers. We need to prove this, right? So using numbers, we need to prove that.
Angle 2 is equal to angle 4.
Angle 2 is equal to angle 4. We need to prove that angle 2 is equal to angle 4. Let me write that. We need to prove that angle 2 is equal to angle 4. Now for this, we'll use the exterior angle property. See, somehow you'll have to connect. We know 1 is equal to 2, we know 3 is equal to 4. How will you connect all this 1, 2, 3, and 4? So by using the exterior angle property, by using the exterior, you need to prove that 2 and 4 are equal. No? So somehow you'll have to connect the 2 and 4. So you can use the exterior angle property in a triangle. Here, this exterior angle is equal to the sum of the two interior opposite angles, this angle plus this angle. In any triangle, exterior angle is equal to the sum of the two interior opposite angles. So here clearly angle 4 is equal to angle 1 plus 2, angle 1 plus angle 2. Not angle 4, sorry children, sorry, angle 3 plus 4. Sorry. This is the exterior angle. This is the exterior angle. I think I marked it 3 and 4 here. Angle 3 is equal to angle 4. Angle 3 is equal to angle 4 because it's bisected. 3 plus 4 together is the exterior angle. This is, I think I marked 1 here and 2 here. The exterior angle is angle PAC. PAC is the exterior angle. Angle PAC is the exterior angle. Angle PAC is equal to angle B plus angle C. This angle B plus angle C. That is angle 1 plus angle 2. Angle 1 plus angle 2 by the exterior angle property. Now, this exterior angle is angle 3 and 4 together. Angle 3 and 4 together is the exterior angle, which is equal to the sum of the two interior opposite angles 1 and 2. Now, we need to prove that 4 is equal to 2. We need to prove that 4 is equal to 2. So that means we'll get rid of 3 and 1. We don't want 3 and 1. We'll have to remove it. Now 3 can be written as 4 because 3 and 4 are equal. 3 can be written as 4 because 3 and 4 are equal. Plus this 4 which is already here is equal to, you don't want 1, no, but 1 and 2 are equal. You don't want 1 because you have to prove that 4 is equal to 2. 4 is equal to 2. So you want 4 and 2. You don't want 3, you don't want 1. So 3 can be replaced with 4 because 3 and 4 are equal. And 1 can be replaced. You can take away 1 and write 2 because 1 and 2 are equal. Isosceles triangle property. So plus this 2 which is already here. So this gives you twice of angle 4. Twice of angle 4 is equal to twice of angle 2. Twice of angle 2. So 2 on either side gets cancelled. You cannot cancel the angles. You cannot cancel many inside the angle 2 ones are 2 twos are. No, you cannot cancel this like this 2 ones are 2 twos are, that they represent some angle. No, you cannot do that. So we get the result angle. You can cancel this 2. 2 and 2 on either side gets cancelled. So we have the result angle 4. Angle 4 is equal to angle 2. Angle 4 is equal to angle 2. So like this, we prove the first result. Angle 4 is equal to angle 2. Now, when angle 4 is equal to angle 2, see here, some line transversal, some line. A Z is being formed, a Z. And in the Z, these two angles in the Z are equal because we just proved angle 4 is equal to angle 2. We just proved angle 4 is equal to angle 2. Angle 4 is equal to angle 2. We just proved. So if this angle is equal to this angle, alternate angles are equal. Alternate interior angles are equal. That means these two lines are parallel. When a pair of alternate interior angles are equal, the lines are parallel. The concerned lines, they're parallel. When we say the concerned lines, that means because this angle is equal to this angle and they form a pair of alternate interior angles, these two angles are formed by this line and this line, where this is the transversal. So these two lines, this line is parallel to this line. So that way we prove that AD is parallel to BC. But we already know that AB, we prove that AD is parallel to BC. But we already know that AB is parallel to CD is given to us in the question. AB parallel to CD is already given to us. This we already know. AB is parallel to CD, we already know. Now, because alternate interior angles are equal, the other pair of opposite sides is also parallel. So by the definition, a quadrilateral is a parallelogram when both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. A quadrilateral is a parallelogram. That's a definition of a parallelogram. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral in which both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So we proved that one pair of opposite sides parallel was given to us. The other pair also we proved. So it's a parallelogram. That's how we proved the second part. I'll show you the proof, children. First read the proof and then start writing. Please read the proof first. See, I may have marked the numbers differently. I'm sure you can manage all that. Okay, let's have a recap. So we first use the exterior angle property. This angle, that is angle 1 plus 2, angle 1 plus 2 is equal to the sum of the two interior opposite angles, 3 plus 4 is equal to 3 plus 4 in exterior angle property. But we know that angle 1 is equal to angle 2 because it's bisected. And we also know that angle 3 is equal to angle 4, isosceles triangle property. So we replace, we want angle, we need to prove that angle 2 is equal to angle 3. We need to prove that 2 is equal to 3. So we'll retain 2 and 3. We want 2, we want 3. We don't want 1 and 4. We don't want 1 and 4. So 1 is replaced with 2 and 4 is replaced with 3 because they're equal. So you get twice of angle 2 is equal to twice of angle 3. 2 cancels, 2 is equal to 3. And if angle 2 is equal to angle 3, if angle 2 is equal to angle 3, then by alternate, because alternate interior angles are equal, the lines are parallel. AD is parallel to BC. If angle 2 is equal to angle 3, alternate angles are equal. So AD is parallel to BC. AD is parallel to BC. So from A and B, you can see A here. AB is parallel to CD, which is given to us. And now we prove that AD is parallel to BC. So from A and B, ABCD is a parallelogram. Two parallel lines L and M are intersected by a transversal P. Two parallel lines L and M. The two parallel lines L and M are intersected by a transversal P. They're intersected by a transversal P. Show that the quadrilateral formed by the bisectors of interior angles is a rectangle. So two parallel lines, we have two, so the lines are parallel given to us. L and M are not simply two lines. L and M are parallel lines and they're intersected by a transversal P. Now, we know that when two parallel lines or simply two lines are cut by a transversal, 8 angles are formed around the transversal. 8 angles, 4 angles here and 4 angles here. 8 angles are formed around the transversal. 4 of which are interior angles. These 4 are interior angles. And these 4 are exterior angles. These are exterior angles. When two lines or two parallel lines, when two lines or two parallel lines are intersected by a transversal, 8 angles are formed around the transversal. 4 of which are called interior angles and the remaining 4 are called exterior angles. So there are 4 interior angles. Show that the quadrilateral formed by the bisectors of the interior angles. How many interior angles? 4 interior angles. This is not alternate interior angles, simply interior angles. There are 4 interior angles. When two lines are intersected by a transversal, 8 angles are formed, clinging around the transversal. They're all hanging. They all stick to the transversal. Around the transversal, 8 angles are formed. 4 angles are called interior angles and the other 4 are called exterior angles. Now we need to consider these 4 interior angles and their bisectors. Consider these 4 interior angles. Then bisect these 4 interior angles. when you bisect these four interior angles, the bisectors, they'll enclose and they'll form some figure. They form a quadrilateral. You need to prove that that quadrilateral is a rectangle. So when two parallel lines are intersected by a transversal P, we need to prove that the quadrilateral formed by the bisectors of the interior angles is a rectangle. So this figure is not given. You need to make it yourself. Parallel lines intersected by a transversal, interior angle, interior angle, interior angle, interior angle. Let me take a new slide. Oh my God. Interior angle, interior angle, interior angle, interior angle. Now this angle is here. The bisector cannot be here like this. This is the angle. This is the angle. So through the middle, the bisector will pass through the middle. So like this. This is the bisector. This ray is the bisector of this angle. So now if this angle, supposing this angle is 50 degrees, it's now 25 and 25. And the bisector of this angle, see the angle is here like this. So somewhat through the middle, you can just mark the midpoint. Roughly, to just judge, you know, like if, how to draw the bisector. This is the bisector. Similarly, this angle, somewhere here. So bisector, this angle, bisector. So you can see that the bisectors of the interior angles, they enclose a quadrilateral. They enclose a quadrilateral. Now let's name the vertices. You can call this A, you can call this B, you can call this C, and you can call this D. You can see the quadrilateral ABCD. You can see the quadrilateral ABCD enclosed by the bisectors of the four interior angles. We need to prove that ABCD is a rectangle. Given that L is parallel to M and P is a transversal. Now to prove that ABCD is a rectangle, we use a definition. A parallelogram in which one angle is a right angle is a rectangle. So we need to first prove that ABCD is a parallelogram. We need to prove that ABCD is a parallelogram. Then we need to prove that one angle in this parallelogram is a right angle. Therefore, ABCD is a rectangle. So now how do we prove that ABCD is a parallelogram? To prove that ABCD is a parallelogram, we are going to prove that both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. We're going to prove that both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So when both pairs of opposite sides are parallel, it's a parallelogram. And in the parallelogram, we'll prove that one angle is a right angle, so it's a rectangle. So you need to see, this is somewhat theoretical, right? It's not numerical. So when it's numerical, you have to work. As you work, only when you work, you start working, you will realize that will take you to the next step. But when it comes to proofs, you need to first plan. You need to first plan and then execute it. You need to first decide, how am I going to prove that ABCD is a parallelogram? So that you'll have to plan first. It's theory. It's more, you'll be using a lot of English than numbers. So that means, like when you write an essay, when you're given a topic in English, you have to write an essay on a particular topic. You cannot just write like that. No, you first think. You first, you in the examination hall, you sit quiet for some time thinking about what you can write about that. So you first think, you gather the points in your mind, and then you execute, and then you write. As soon as you see the title, you cannot start writing like that. But when you see a numerical situation in mathematics, you have to start working. Of course, there you cannot do many. When it is numerical, you cannot plan, you cannot decide all the 10 steps. You don't know what will happen. Only when you start working, the second step will take you to the third one, the third will take you to the fourth, and so on. For proofs, you need to first plan and then work out, write out your plan. So ABCD is a parallelogram is what we have to first prove. All right. We know that L is parallel to M. We know that L is parallel to M. So this angle and this angle are alternate angles and they're equal. Alternate angles and they're equal because L is parallel to M. L is parallel to M. So this angle, see, actually, children, we have to mark many other points. I'm not marking that. I'll show you in the next slide. I'll just explain how the proof goes. You'll have to mark many other points. You'll see that in the next slide. So this angle, I'm not naming it because I'm not, see, I have to take points like P here. I have to take a point like Q here. Only then I can name this angle. I can call this PAC, angle PAC. We need to take up points like this in order to name the angles. So if I mark this on L, if I call this P, then this is angle PAC. And here on this, if I take a point like R, is equal to RCA. RCA. So we say that this angle is equal to this angle. Alternate interior angles are equal. Half of this angle. See, if I say PAC, RCA and all that, it's you cannot understand. So I will not say that. I'll just show it. See, I'm just showing you where the angle is. And you know how to name the angle. So if I don't want to read out RCA, BCA and all that. So this angle is equal to this angle. Alternate interior angles are equal. So when two things are equal, their halves are also equal. When two things are equal, their halves are also equal. So half of this angle will be equal to half of this angle. Half of this is equal to half of this. And now you know that this angle is bisected. This angle is bisected. So 1/2 of this angle is this one. And 1/2 of this angle is this one. Because the angle is bisected. These are the bisectors. This is the bisector. So these two portions are equal. These two portions are equal. This is the bisector. So this angle is equal to this angle. So this whole angle is equal to this whole angle. Alternate interior angles are equal. Half of this angle will be equal to half of this angle. Half of this angle can be regarded as this one. This angle is equal to half of this angle is this one here. But you see these two angles. You see these two angles. That is this one and this one. They themselves form a pair of alternate interior angles. Here, some line, transversal, some line. Like this. Some line, transversal, some line. Here and here are the angles. We proved that this angle is equal to this angle. But they form a pair of alternate interior angles and they're equal. So that means AD is parallel to CB. AD is parallel to CB. So similarly, we have to take up the other pair of alternate interior angles. What we just did, this angle What we just did, this angle is equal to this angle. Alternate interior angles are equal because the lines are parallel. Half of this angle, that is this one, is equal to half of this angle, that is this one. But these two angles which are crossed, these two angles are equal, but they themselves form a pair of alternate interior angles. Here, some line, transversal, and some line. The bisectors are the lines. The bisectors are the lines. So since these two angles which are crossed, they are equal, the bisectors, this bisector, this one is parallel to this one, is parallel to this. Because alternate interior angles are equal, lines are parallel. Now take up the other pair of alternate interior angles. This angle is equal to this angle. Alternate interior angles. Because this L is parallel to M. So alternate interior angles are equal. So half of this angle is equal to half of this angle, will be equal to half of this angle. Half of this angle, because it's bisected, the angle is bisected. These two portions are equal. This portion is equal to this portion. So half of this full angle is equal to this, is equal to, and half of this angle, this full angle is equal to this one. Because these two portions are equal. So now we have this angle equal to this angle. See, you can see a bisector, transversal here, and the bisector. We have proved that this angle is equal to this angle. That means this bisector is parallel to this bisector. See, we proved that this angle is equal to this angle, this angle. Some line, transversal, some line. But the alternate angles are equal. So that means the lines are parallel to each other. Alternate interior angles are equal, so the lines are parallel to each other. So like this, we proved that both the pairs of opposite sides are parallel. So the quadrilateral encloses a parallelogram. The quadrilateral encloses a parallelogram. Next, we have to prove that one angle is a right angle. We have to prove that one angle is a right angle. You can prove any one angle is a right angle. You can prove that this is 90, or this is 90, or this is 90, or you can prove that this 90. You can prove any one of the four angles. We have proved it's a parallelogram. Now we have to prove that any one of these four angles is equal to 90 degrees. So you can choose any one angle. I'll choose this one. I'll tell you two. The procedure to prove this is the same as this one. The procedure to prove this angle is 90 is the same as this one. Is the same as for this one. Class, use the emoji. Raise your hand. Hitesh. Are you there, Hitesh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And Tarun?
Ma'am?
No. Tarun, Chennai? Are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Why delay in using the emoji?
Ma'am, I was not able to use. Ma'am. Now I can use.
If that is the case, kindly children unmute yourself and tell me that you're not able to use the emoji. So there is Sangamitra, Shreyas, Nivedita, Ananya, Vasudevan, Nikita, Deepika, Satvika, Pranav Rajan, Tarun, Hitesh, Tarun. All right, children, you may lower your hands. So now we'll see how to prove that, you know, this angle. Okay, I think I said this angle. This angle is 90. Very simple. Very, very simple. Now, this angle is angle 1 equal to angle 2, children? Take your time and tell me if angle 1 is equal to angle 2. Okay, let's come back with the information given. Now tell me, children, are these two simply two lines or two parallel lines, L and M?
Parallel lines, ma'am. L and M are
Parallel.
parallel lines.
Parallel lines. And what about this one? It's a transversal. P is a transversal. What are these four
Yes,
angles
ma'am.
called? What are these four angles called?
Interior angles. Interior angles.
angles. These four angles are called interior angles. Now when I do this, what is this? It's the
angle is bisected, ma'am.
what bisector?
Ma'am, the angle is bisected.
Angular, yeah, angular bisector. Angular bisector. Angular bisector. Angular bisector. Okay. Now, is angle 1 equal to angle 2? Now, this is the complete angle. This is one interior angle. This is one of the four interior angles, and this is the bisector.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
So
ma'am,
one is
it's equal,
equal to
ma'am.
angle 2. One is equal to angle 2 because the angle is bisected. This is also one of the interior angles. This is also one of the interior angles. And angle 3 is equal to angle 4 because the angle is bisected. The angle is bisected, so angle 3 is equal to 4. So remember, angle 1 is equal to angle 2 and angle 3 is equal to angle 4. Yeah. So remember that, sorry. Yeah, children. Yeah. So remember that angle 1 is equal to angle 2 and angle 3 is equal to angle 4. Now let's begin. What will be the measure of angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 4?
180, ma'am. It's a linear pair, ma'am.
No, linear pair is only when you add two angles. Is 180, but what's the reason? Sum of all the angles on a straight line, okay? Sum of all the angles on a straight line is equal to 180 because when you add more than two angles, exactly two angles on a straight line, linear pair. More than two angles, sum of all the angles on a straight line is equal to 180. Now now we need to prove that 2 plus 3 is 90. We need to prove that 2 plus 3 is 90. This one, see, we need to prove that this angle is 90 degrees. That is 2 plus 3 is 90. So I don't want 1. I don't want 1. But we know that 1 and 2 are equal. So we'll replace 1 with 2. Plus angle 2. Plus, we don't want 3. I'm sorry, we don't want 4. We want 3. So we'll retain 3. And instead of 4, we'll say 3 only. Because we know 3 and 4 are equal. Is equal to 180. Is equal to 180. So twice of angle 2. Twice of angle 2 plus twice of angle 3 is equal to 180. 2 common. Take out 2 common. So you'll get 2 of 2 plus 3 is equal to 180. So angle 2 plus 3 is equal to 180 by 2. 180 by 2, 90 degrees. 180 by 2, 90 degrees. So angle 2 plus 3 is 90. That means one corner of the parallelogram is a right angle. So it's a rectangle. So it is a rectangle.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, children, first write down this. I will tell you the other one also. I don't know how I've worked it here. Okay, this I've done in a different way here. So I have to explain that. Okay, I hope you understood this one. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to 180. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 is equal to 180. 1 can be replaced with 2 and 4 can be replaced with 3. So we'll get twice of 2 plus twice of 3 is equal to 180. On taking 2 common, 2 plus 3 is equal to 180 by 2, which is 90. So that way you can prove that this angle is 90. What you can also do is, now we know that this whole angle plus this whole angle is equal to 180 because co-interior angles are supplementary. Co-interior angles are supplementary. Just a minute. Parallel lines, transversal. These two angles, they add up to 180 because they're co-interior angles. They're supplementary. Co-interior angles are supplementary. So this angle plus this angle is equal to 180. This angle plus this angle is equal to 180. Co-interior angle is supplementary. So let me just call this angle, this full angle. Let me just call it angle A, children. Let me just call it angle A. So we'll just say angle A plus angle B is equal to 180. Co-interior angles are supplementary. This is we'll just say that this is angle A and this one is angle B. A plus B is 180. Co-interior angles are supplementary. Now divide by 2 throughout. So angle A by 2 plus angle B by 2. You can divide by 2 throughout. You can divide by 2 throughout, 2, 3, whatever number you want, but here you'll have to divide by 2 throughout. So A by 2, this is angle A. A by 2 is only this angle, Let me call this angle 1, okay, angle 1. Plus angle B by 2, this full thing is B. B by 2 meaning half of that angle. Half of that angle, let me call it 2 here. Angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 180 by 2. So that's 90. 180 by 2 is 90. So like this, we can prove that angle 1 plus 2 is equal to 90 degrees. Now this is a triangle. This one is a triangle. This one is a triangle. And this is the third angle. Let me call this angle 3. And in this triangle, we have 3 angles, angle 1, 2, and 3. In this triangle, we have 3 angles, angle 1, 2, and 3. And 1 plus 2 is 90. So angle 3 will be 90 degrees. Because 1 plus 2 plus 3 will be 180. Angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180. Because sum of the 3 angles of a triangle is equal to 180. But we know that angle 1 plus 2 is 90 degrees. 90 plus angle 3. 90 plus angle 3 is equal to 180. Is equal to 180. So angle 3 is equal to 180 minus 90, 90 degrees. So you can also prove it like this. Yes, now write out. You must write from given. As you write, you should also see the figure and understand what you're writing. Are we writing, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Shreyas, have you completed example 1, 2, 3, and 4?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am. I took screenshots and completed.
No, you've written out everything in your book, right? Shreyas,
Yes, ma'am.
along with the figure. I'll be asking this question to everybody. What I mean is, if you've not screenshot, fine, you can take screenshots, but you should have now during the session completed all that we have discussed in your notebook along with the figures. Nikita, copied. I gave you time, so you don't have any reason. If you say you have not written, you don't have a reason to justify that. Nikita, have you copied everything in your book? Pranav, Rajan? Pranav? Hitesh?
Yes, ma'am.
Sure? Hitesh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Ananya? Ananya? Okay, I'm unable to hear, but you try to say something. I can see that your microphone was unmuted. Okay, Ananya. Deepika?
Completed, ma'am.
Okay, Vasudevan? Vasudevan? Okay, Vasudevan is trying to say something, but I'm not able to hear. Nivedita?
Yeah, ma'am, I have completed, ma'am.
Okay, Sangamitra?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Tarun?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Both of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Did I miss out anyone's name? Because sometimes the names they get rearranged. So I just go by the order and suddenly the names shuffle. So maybe I've missed to call somebody's name. Has somebody's name been missed out? Okay. Is it over, children?
One minute,
Completed?
ma'am.
Writing? Completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. As I read, let's just see it again. As I read, look at the figure there. PS parallel to QR and transversal P intersects them at points A and C respectively. Agree? Was that given? PS parallel to QR, was it given? Because L is parallel to M. See, you need to read the information given and then draw the figure. The figure is not given. L and M are two parallel lines. So we have taken 2 points on them, P and S, PS, QR. So PS parallel to QR and transversal P. And transversal P intersects them at points A and C respectively. Transversal P intersects PS at A and QR at C respectively. PS is parallel to QR and transversal P intersects PS and QR at A and C respectively. Okay, so this is given. Then the bisectors of angle PAC, all the interior angles are mentioned. Can you see? PAC. Run your eyes here. PAC, ACQ, ACQ. This one. This is ACQ. This is PAC. The bisectors of PAC and ACQ intersect at B. The bisectors of PAC and this is PAC and ACQ, they intersect at B. And the bisectors of ACR, this is ACR. So why have we marked Q and R? In order to name the angles. Why should you take PQRS on the transversals? To name the angles here, ACR. I can say only if I take this point R, I cannot write M here and say ACM. That's incorrect. I cannot use this. So I need to take a point on the line. So we mark of PQRS on the lines in order to help ourselves in naming the angles. ACR is this angle and SAC is this angle. And their bisectors meet at D. See here, ACR and SAC, they meet at D. ACR is this one, SAC, the bisectors of these two angles, they intersect at D. So in given, we have basically mentioned all the information that's given to us. Parallel lines PS and QR, they are intersected by the transversal P at A and C respectively. And then we've taken 2 interior angles at a time. So 2 of them intersect, the bisectors of 2 of the interior angles intersect at B, and the 2 others they intersect at D. The bisectors intersect. The bisectors intersect at B, the bisectors intersect at D. Now you can see the quadrilateral ABCD. We need to prove it's a rectangle. Quadrilateral, to prove quadrilateral ABCD is a rectangle. Yeah. Have you asked me your questions? Any questions, children, please?
No, ma'am.
Sure.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now, all of you said that you have completed your work in your notebook. All of you must now, soon after the class, take pictures of your, whatever you've written in your book and share it with me on WhatsApp without any reason. I asked each and every one in this classroom and all of you said you've all written. So there should not be any delay. Don't in a hurry scribble everything from the screenshots and send it to me. All of you must take pictures of your work and share the same on WhatsApp with me. You don't have to crop and spend time. Just take the pictures of the pages. Don't crop and spend time. I just want to see what you've written. Do that soon after the class. And yes, children, that's it for today's session. If you have any doubts, please stay back, else you may leave the call. Thank you. Thank you, children.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.